Namaskar, namaskar. How are you? So, even as I'm in the midst of stuff right now, I'm making some changes. I've come live, and interestingly, this conversation is about communicating differently. So, welcome each person. This is an impromptu uh, communication. We are trying out something, and we said that might as well, the test of the pudding is in tasting it. So, here we are. So, let me also tell you what this conversation is about. This conversation is about communicating differently, finding different ways to communicate. Different ways to communicate what? Consider for a moment, dear friends, that each one of us communicates on a daily basis, not just through our words, but also through our work. That's right. Our work is our communication. Our work tells the story of our life, our achievements, what we want to do with our life, what we want to achieve out of our life, what we want to impact. So, just like we have different sorts of work, we also have different ways of doing that work. For me, communicating differently is that ability that each one of us innately has to not just work differently, but also express our work in different forms, in different ways. What excites me about this is that, therefore, there is no boredom. There is no another day at work. There is another set of possibilities each day. For me, technology is new. I am somebody who loves technology. I just adore it. But till 2 months back, I couldn't really say that I'm very good at it. I still can't. But what I've discovered is that when I'm away from people, when I'm away from friends who help me, I found ways to do things on my own. I found ways to communicate my work in ways different than I ever thought I could. So today, too, we tried out something, and I will let you into it. We were today trying that, yes, I can do LinkedIn Live on my LinkedIn profile. We wanted to explore, can we also do it on our LinkedIn page? Just discovered during the live that we could not. So what do? Right as it was on, we altered some things and we have come live on the channels that we have, which is our Facebook page, our LinkedIn profile, our YouTube page, and on Periscope. The point here is that each one of us will hit roadblocks when we want to try out different things. Oh, yes. And there is a degree of, if I may say, what will people say? Embarrassment. What if it doesn't work out? But for me, I have discovered that life is whenever I have chosen to go beyond embarrassment. Embarrassment is an immediate stop for me. Oh, yes, it can stop me. And it does stop me also at times. But I savor those times when I have not been stopped by my embarrassment, that I've actually gone beyond embarrassment. Or if I may also say, beyond the perceived embarrassment. Because many a times people say, wow, yeah, well done. And I end up saying, but I was thinking that it might not work. So consider for a moment, dear friends, that as we try out different forms of communication, different ways of communicating through our work, through our expressions, through our life, we discover whole new possibilities for ourselves. And I will share two very interesting examples that we are discovering at this moment. So last week, in fact, last Friday, we did our maiden effort. We wanted to communicate differently because, I have a funny bone. Oh, yes. I love to have a laugh at myself. I love to have a laugh at how life is turning out. That's the way I have handled life over the years. So we decided that we will do a show on Book My Show. And we called it Dil Pe Mat Le Yaar. फिर मुस्कुराएगा इंडिया, शुरुआत होगी आपसे, आज से. We thought about it. The entire team at Avid Miner thought about it. And guess what? Within 20 days, we pulled it off. And I'm very proud to tell you, 1,500 people, individuals, and families sat together and watched that show. 40 minutes of conversations around my life, the anecdotes of my life, and also the learnings that I discovered during that period. Now, for me, I've been used to speaking to corporates or speaking to, groups, smaller groups. But now suddenly I opened up a possibility that I can actually be reaching out to larger numbers through such methods. Now, why would I want to do it in the first place? Because intrinsically, I feel that each one of us has a lot of stories. And a whole lot of those stories we hide because we feel vulnerable. I personally, as an actor and as a person who I am, I have discovered the extraordinary power which is available to each one of us when we can allow ourselves to be vulnerable. I've discovered that vulnerability is something that each one of us has. And we become vulnerable if we feel that somebody can hurt us and do something to us. I've discovered you and I are much alike. We all have things that we have been embarrassed about, we feel bad about, we don't feel nice about. Guess what? You and I are all of the same ilk. Some of us may be very successful. Some of us may be not so successful. But isn't it funny that we know a lot about the other person whom we work with, whom we know, and yet we try and hide? I've discovered when I can share with people my follies, the stuff that I'm not very proud of, and things that I'm proud of. If I can share with them things that where I slipped, and things where I actually leapt and created something afresh. And not just that, if I can share that, inside of my slip, when I slipped, when I fell, when I hit it with a thud, I created something amazing. That creates hope, not just for me, but for people who are listening in. So, therefore, Dil Pe Mat Le Yaar was born, and you will hear more about it in the coming weeks as I share on my social postings. But one thing was phenomenal, that I discovered that we could do it and people were interested in watching it. The other thing is coming up right now. There's an app called CureFit, and we are coming on live from this week, a conversation around how can you be cheerful, how can you gift yourself cheer in this imperfect life. So that is coming on live. It's a conversation which is coming on there. You can have a look at that on the CureFit app. What's interesting for me is that as we travel through life, as we discover, as we move each day with an intention to discover, not just to do things that we know may or may not work, that's when truly a life of awe happens. I love it when I can say wow each day. And that's the journey this has been. Came out today to talk to you about experiencing that we can all communicate differently, not just through our words, but through our work and through our life. Dear friends, this is an impromptu one. I look forward to meeting you this Saturday. It's going to be a very, very interesting conversation called The Two of Us, which is happening between Rajesh and me. It's going to happen this Saturday at 5:30 p.m. So do visit us as we think and chat about life and the experiences, what we have gained. I've always felt that in the nooks of life, some gold is there. We would love to share it with you this Friday at 5:30 p.m. IST. But till then, stay well, stay safe, and stay ignited. We at Avid Miner just love to ignite ourselves and people in our lives. If we can be of any service to you and your teams, we are just an email away. Al Shukran Bandhu, Al Shukran Zindagi. Have an amazing evening and an extraordinary week ahead. My name is Ashish Vidyarthi. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on how you can communicate differently and discover the extraordinary variations available in life. Thank you. Do look up our website, avidminer.com. And as for now, would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much. Cheers. Appreciate it. Super duper, dear friend. Have a great evening. Cheers. Thank you.